you're struggling through Stay Out for a couple weeks, I can confidently say I know a good bit more about the game than I did before. Here's some things I wish I knew before playing the game. You can outrun enemies. The simpler answer to this one you might expect is, well, if you just go up to a hotspot or a place where an NPC is, all of the enemies around you, they'll go back to where they were because they can't kill you near that area. They will leave you alone. However, there's another part to this because if you say you're in the city, okay, or you're in the outskirts and you're running around and there's nobody near you, there's no spots near you, there's nothing, okay, but a bunch of spiders come or a dog comes. Well, guess what? If you have a full stamina bar, you don't have to worry about it. You can run like 100 meters away from it and it won't bother you the entire way. So if you get far enough from where it originated from, it will stop trying to follow you and give up. PvE in this game can be very frustrating because there aren't many areas dedicated just to it, so you can't really farm that well. I mean, maybe you can once you have sunk a lot of time into this game and you know exactly where every area is, but even then, I've heard it's still lacking. If you look carefully, you can often get through areas with no trouble at all. For example, in Lubeck, on the very right side, there is a street you can use that takes you all the way to the House of Culture with almost no enemies at all. In the outskirts, if you keep to the left and hug the wall, you can actually get to the railroad track, and this takes you out of the city. And again, without any engagements, you don't have to worry about enemies, only anomalies on the railroad track. And this takes you all the way to the airport, or you could swing around to try to get to Gourmets. However, if you just want to go to Gourmets from here, it might just be worth dealing with the enemies. But if you don't want to deal with them, you can take the long way around. Factions matter more than you think. That's definitely true. The reputation and goodwill you get with a faction can go very far depending on where you are, what you want to do, the things you want to buy. It is crazy how much reputation matters. And I thought it was just a simple, oh, you can't go here if you don't have enough reputation. Well, it is that, but a million times more. Ammo is extra weight, but it's better to have. I remember one time I was out and I was nowhere near any outpost. I couldn't get anywhere, and I had to keep doing these quests. I was down to my pistol and maybe 50 rounds of ammo for that out of my guns. I had almost nothing, and it was because I didn't get ammo the last time I was at a camp. I should have done that, but I was more worried about my weight, how much I could carry, how many mutant parts I needed, because I had some mutant part quests at the time. Well, in the end, it's better to have more ammo and less weight. Artifacts don't spawn that much as they would have you believe in the tutorial. Yep, that's true, because anytime you see an anomaly, there's got to be like super special conditions for it or really good RNG. I don't know, because artifacts almost never spawn for me, or I'm just not doing it good enough. I don't know, but I never see them. Quests have a cancel time limit. I don't really know how else to put this, but if you cancel a quest and like say you do it on accident because you're just going through the text options, well, next time maybe don't do it so quickly, because if you cancel it on accident, the odds are pretty good that you won't be able to redo it straight away. But there is a silver lining here, because not all quests have the same time limit. So for example, one quest could only be 12 hours while another could be 24. So there's a pretty wide range, and that's more or less your next play session where you're going to have to worry about it. However, a lot of these quests are repeatable. The quests that aren't the main storyline quests that are repeatable from side characters, you can use those to grind rep, get money, get items, and you can do them over and over and over within the time limits. People in this game love storage NPCs, and they love the board. And I get it. The board is great for things you can't buy in game. I don't know if there's like some hidden meta here, because it is all they do. They are never anywhere else in any of the camps. If there is a board in a storage NPC, that is where they are. I don't get it. I never use it, okay? The one time I did use it, I was hiding I was storing pelts for Skinner, okay? That was literally it. And that's because of how much those things weigh and how many pelts I had to get all together, like skins and whatnot. That quest was crazy. Anyway, I just don't really use it. I don't get it. Sometimes this game isn't worth it solo. So if I was starting all over again and I had a friend group, I would maybe think about introducing them to this game, even though it's quite janky. There are quite a few things that would be much easier if you weren't doing them alone. Let me give you an example. I recently had to do the chemical dumping ground scientist quest, in which you have to do something with a transmitter or some sort of equipment there. However, you have to defend it for a certain period of time, which is nothing crazy, but I don't really have the firepower to do that quest by myself. Okay, I have what is it, an SVT or an SKS or whatever, and a TT. Okay, I have like nothing. I sold my shotgun on mistake, and I didn't get a new one yet because I'm still looking for a good gun. I don't know if I want to get a shotgun or a submachine gun. I don't know, but I don't have enough firepower to do this on my own. So I deeply regret that. However, I could join a clan, but I haven't really looked at the clans to know which ones are active and which ones are just, well, dead in the water. This one's important. Not all outposts have everything. Uh, you might assume that each place has everything, but no, it does not. There is variation. For example, the airport has less there. There's not as much you can get there, that, as well as the swamp camp. The swamp camp, I don't think, has a food NPC. They also don't have very much in the way of ammo there. But regardless, compared to bigger places like Gourmets, they have a little bit less, and you wouldn't think it matters, but in the heat of the moment, when you do need those things, it does matter. Okay, so try to come prepared, be well equipped for these situations.